Example 1. Determine if the following equations are proportional. Sketch a graph of each. If it is directly proportional, identify the constant of proportion. So yesterday, for something to be directly proportional, it has to do two things. One thing, it has to go through the origin. Second thing, it has to have a constant rate. That's our slope, m. And we find that by taking y and dividing it by x. So for the first one, we can create a little t-shaped table and plot some points. 0, 1, 2. Put 0 into the equation. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 4, 4. Let's put 1 into the equation. 2 times 1 gives us 2, add 4, that's 6. Let's substitute the 2 into the equation. So we have 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 4 is 8. So now let's graph these points. We have 0 and 4, 1 and 6, and 2 and 8 is off. So here's our line. So we have to ask ourselves two questions. Does it go through the origin, and does it have a constant rate? It looks like it has a constant rate because we have a line, but it's not going through the origin. So it's not directly proportional, does not go through the origin. Example B, y equals negative 5x. Another t table, substitute in 0, 1, and 2. So substitute in 0, we have negative 5 times 0, gives us 0. Negative 5 times 1 gives us negative 5. And negative 5 times 2 gives us negative 10. Let's graph it. We have 0, 0, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 and negative 10 is going to be off the chart. So that's what it looks like. Let's ask ourselves a couple of questions. Does it go through the origin? Yes. And does it have a constant rate? It has origin, and it looks like a constant rate because we have a line. So, yes, it's directly proportional. We have the origin and a constant rate. So what is our constant rate? Take y value divided by the x. We have negative 5 divided by 1, which gives us negative 5. So that is our constant of proportionality. C, y equals 3 divided by x. So let's choose some values. 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 divided by 0. Remember, we can't divide by 0, so this is undefined. Next we have 3 divided by 1, which is 3. Then we have 3 divided by 2, which gives us 1.5. And then we have 3 divided by 3, which gives us 1. So let's graph it. We have 1 and 3, 2 and 1.5, 3 and 1. So this ends up curving like that. So ask yourself the two questions. Does it go through the origin? And is there a constant rate. It's not directly proportional. There's no origin. And there's no constant rate. So keep in your mind that an equation that looks like this is not directly proportional. Always, it will not be directly proportional. Y equals 3x squared. So, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So we have 3 times negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is 1 times 3 gives us 3. 3 times 0 squared. 0 squared is 0 times 3 is 0. 1, we have 3 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3. And then we have 3 times 2 squared equals 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. So we have negative 1 and 3. We have 0 and 0. We have 1 and 3. So over 1, up 1, 2, 3, and 2 and 12. That's going to be off the charts. And this one looks like this. So we have to ask ourselves, does it go through the origin, and does it have a constant rate? Well, it goes through the origin, but it's not giving us a straight line, so it doesn't have a constant rate. So not directly proportional, no constant rate. So keep in the back of your mind that an equation that looks like this with the x squared is not directly proportional. Example 2. An explosion on a U.S. supertanker spilled 9 million gallons of crude oil into the southern Pacific, and the oil slick covered an area of 105 kilometers squared. Approximately how thick was the oil slick? So we are being asked to find the thickness, and we have to look at what we're given. We're given 9 million gallons, and that represents our volume, and we're given 105 kilometers squared, and that is our area. So volume equals area of the base times the height. We need to find the thickness or the height. We're given gallons, we're given kilometers squared. So we've done this one before. Let's do it in shorter steps this time. We need to change the gallons to liters. So 9 million gallons. Change it to liters. So liters goes on top, gallons go on the bottom. There are 3.8 liters per 1 gallon. Gallons cancel. Ask yourself, are we multiplying or dividing? We are multiplying, so we have 9 million times 3.8, which gives us 34,200,000 liters. Remember, that's equivalent to decimeters cubed. 2, we have area that we need to change. 105 kilometers squared. We need to change kilometers squared to decimeters squared. So kilo to deci, we would move 4. But because the units are squared, we are going to move 8. So that means we're gonna add on 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decimeters squared. So we have 34,200,000 liters, or decimeters cubed, 10 billion, 500 million decimeters squared. So the last step, you guys know what it is. We need to divide. So we have 34,200,000 decimeters cubed equals 10,500,000,000 decimeters squared times the height. We need to solve for the height, so we're going to divide both sides by 10,500,000,000 decimeters squared. So the height, put it in your calculator, 34,200,000 divided by 10,500,000,000 gives us 0.0033 decimeters. So today you have a packet that's going to review finding the direct proportion. You're going to have problems that are reviewing finding the height. You're going to have problems that are reviewing finding area using the average radius. We will be having a quiz by the end of the week on Friday.